Alright, morning everybody. Taking the old power stroke today. It's freaking cold. This truck starts better in the cold than it does when it's like 80 out. I don't get it. I think that has something to do with worn out injectors maybe. The tolerance is like the thicker oil whenever it's cold. It starts fine hot. Anyway, so I'm taking this truck because I need some of the tools that I have in it. And I haven't driven this truck in a while, so I figured out what the problem with the escape is. Now it needs a car battery. It's frozen, so not the end of the world. Alright everybody, so this morning's project at work is the old Fisher plow, one that goes on the backhoe. Needs a new cutting edge. That one right there does not fit our plows at work. I don't even know what it's for. I think it actually might be for a Fisher because none of the holes line up on the Westerns. And some of you may know, some of you may not know, but Western and Fisher are the same company. This was the cutting edge that was on it. To be totally honest with you, I'm not sure that's even actually a cutting edge. But can't really tell, but probably not in the video anyway. But you know, the full width of the cutting edge over here is 6.5 to the point on that edge, and over here it's 5, so she's pretty worn out. But so anyway, what I'm doing, and you can see it looks like somebody made this happen. I don't know if they rebuilt this or what, but these holes are just kind of torched in here versus the holes that I drilled yesterday. So anyway, what I'm doing is I'm going to be taking my tape measure here, and how I got that is, so I measured, you know, from the center of the hole here, and I found the pretty much center there. Doesn't have to be exact. This isn't precision machining here, but then basically you just transfer what you need here, and then I'm gonna have to do every one of these, so I'm gonna pick a common reference, and I'm gonna mark every one of these holes out and drill them. I'm drilling them in 3 steps, using this little bit to get started. Then I have another one laying around here somewhere that I used. It's roughly a 1/2 inch. Then that one I think is 9/16 or something like that, 5/8. So that's kind of what's going on there. There's some other things I'd like to do. I'm not sure how to go about it. These springs should be replaced. I think they're a little bit tired. You can see it was starting to wear this, so it definitely needed an edge. I'm not really sure exactly what all I'm gonna actually do to this. I think I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice a good portion of this chain because it's kind of stretched and beat up, and I don't even know where it came from, but bent links, and that's kind of a no-no for tying stuff down. So I think what I'm gonna do is clean one of the hooks up and smoke it fast here somewhere, maybe. Figure that out. Maybe I'll actually cut a piece and go across, and I don't know, I'll figure something out. The other problem I have is this plow. I don't know if it's the bucket or what, but it doesn't sit perfect whenever I have it on there, and it may, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out too. Alright, so I think I got it figured out. I'm gonna have to skip this one and this one, which I don't really think will be an issue. So I'm gonna go with that. Hopefully it's not a problem. I mean, the best thing with metal is if it is a problem, I can take this cutting edge off, fill those holes in with the welder, and just throw another cutting edge, re-drill holes, do whatever I gotta do. So what I did, but did not do yet, I measured everything from that end and came down this way. Now what I'm gonna do is start from this end and go that way, kind of make sure everything lines up. But it's gonna give me a little bit of a problem, as long as I don't have one that's a complete outlier, because this isn't perfectly square here. So I'm gonna end up being, well, here, let me see. So I'm gonna be about that much out. I don't know if you guys picked that up or not, but it's 1/8 of an inch maybe, which I did measure, and that's about how far off I am from that way. So at least on those 2 far holes. So I'm gonna just double check as I go, make sure everything's good. The other thing that helps is I got a little slop, so it doesn't have to be dead perfect. If you drill the holes just a touch bigger, it should work out. Now, another issue I've created, and I don't know how I'm gonna go about it, that bit is stuck in there. I had to grind this to make it fit. So, luckily, I need that bit, so I'll just use my drill for now. Drill all these holes, I'll use that one, then I'll figure out a way to get that bit out. Don't know what I'm gonna do there. Let me get the rest of these holes drilled, marked out and drilled, and then I'll kind of show you what that should be, and you'll see it then. Okay, so I've got a slight issue here. I got this hole drilled. I need to go one size bigger. There's a little pain with the I don't know, whatever you call that, where you put your shoes. But here's where the problem is. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about it. I may just let it go. You know, from the end, the 4th hole is 30 inches. So here's the problem. Look where 30 inches lands me. So the predicament is, that's where it's gotta be. I'll mark it out and see, but I don't think, because you know, the center of 30 is like right about there. That's just not, that ain't gonna, that's not kosher, not gonna work. So I mean, if you look, these holes here, I mean, that's roughly center, are 16 inches, and the span to be skipping that one would be just over 16. It's well, it's 23 3/4. I don't know that that's gonna really hurt me. I'll have one here, then the other one will be up here. So I don't know if that's gonna really hurt me or not. I don't see why it would. I've got enough. I'll probably end up skipping that one, I assume. I guess what I'll probably do before I go a little bit further here is figure out where every one of these is actually gonna hit, and then go from there. And I will report back. Alright, well, I got this edge mounted up, but I did run into a problem. So, you know, these all line up. They're all dead perfect this way. I don't know if you guys are gonna pick that up, but there's a misalignment issue, and it's so. Yes, it's my fault because I didn't check it, but it's also kind of just not my fault, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Again, I'm not a fabricator, so. But if you look here, It's perfectly 2 inches. Now we're just starting to gain a little there. By the time we get over here in the middle, we're 2 1/4. And we're starting to go back up. We're like 1/4 there. Closer to 2. Back to just about 2 inches. So what that means is, and you can kind of see it, the center of that is arched that way. It may be bent this way, which would make it kind of kick up there. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. I could just egg those holes out a little bit. They may go in, like that one went in, that one went in, that one's not really that close, and these 2 are pretty far out. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do there. But I'll figure it out. Alright everybody, so I think I figured out what's going to happen here. I don't know if it's going to work yet or not. I think that I can go ahead and get this one in. I got the rest of them in. None of them are tight, they're finger tight. So I'm either going to maybe let the air out of this lift and let it sit on the ground, and it'll push on this and bring it up that little bit. Or maybe I'll put the jack under it or something and bring it up. I'm going to figure that out. These ones are all in, but they're not in the, they're square head, they're carriage bolts. So, they fit in a square hole. You can kind of just make it out right there that that's a square hole. And that's just so you don't have to have a wrench on the top of that. So anyway, these ones aren't in that square that they should be in. So, they threaded in, but I think once I get everything kind of where it needs to be, they'll seat in with the impact, so that's not a big deal. So I got to figure that out, see exactly how I'm going to get this up another, I don't know, 3/16 maybe. So I'll get that figured out, and kind of, that should be the last problem for that, and then we'll set this thing down and I'll tip it up and worry about getting a chain on. There's a few other things I think I might try to do to this. Definitely gonna put a chain on it. I put a bushing in here last year. I don't really know. This plow doesn't really allow for articulation. I mean, there's a little bit of slop in here. You're not gonna, I can't make it happen right now because it's held up that way, but I don't know if maybe I'll make something that'll go in here. Maybe I'll make like a bracket that'll go in here, and then it'll allow some pivot action this way, just because you need, like I was explaining it before, you need articulation in your blade. And actually I could show you on that plow. See, like my plow on my other truck is, it's all, the articulation is built into here. These newer plows, it's built in back here. But, well, so you can kind of see, like there's more articulation than that. But the reason for that is because whenever you're kind of plowing on uneven ground, you're going up a hill, turning onto a hill, one corner is going to be lower than the other, and the truck's not going to level out with the plow fast enough. So you have to build in articulation. Alright, so as you guys just saw, that plow, it's got built-in articulation. This one does not. So I'm not really sure how they decided to make that happen back in the 70s, if they even cared. These 3 holes are basically because your A-frame here needs to be level, and that that basically keeps your plow from kicking one side or the other up when you angle it. And that's probably actually what happened here. But it also, that's where some articulation comes into play as well. But something else is that this will dramatically affect the performance of your plow. If you get this plow tipped really far back, it helps, like in my situation, it helps to keep that from tripping. If you angle it further forward, the edge will chatter and it won't cut as good. At least in my situation on this trip edge. My other plow will start to chatter. So there's a lot that goes into the level of this plow, but I may come up with a bracket to allow for some articulation in here. Like I said before, I don't want to do anything permanent here, so I'm probably going to make a bracket that goes through here and will allow me to pin this on to my F250, my 90. I'm also planning, and only as a backup, to take, well, I'm gonna probably try and find the mounts, but I think my plan is to find the mounts and build a setup for this truck. I think maybe what I might do is take my old mount and I'll do something so I can pull this off and put a plow mount on here. And I'm not gonna leave it on there all the time. I'll put it on for the winter, I think. But that's just in case I need to plow with that truck, because that thing is an absolute animal. But that truck will handle that plow. No problems, no questions asked. My other one, it'd probably handle it. It ain't gonna like it, but it'll handle it. Alright, so I'm gonna take this opportunity to kind of show you something for towing. Alright, so sorry, that's a camera charger. So like that's kind of a no-no, but I'll shorten that up. I'm gonna save this chain and I'm gonna use this one for the plow. But if you look, see how that link is nice and round, and you see, there you go, this is a good link, that's a stretched link. See how these ones are kind of like elongated and sort of like sucked in? That's a stretched one. That one's bent, that one's stretched, and then even like this one's a good link. So there's still good links on that chain, but there's a couple stretched ones on there. So what I do with the stretched ones, I'll use them for logging and stuff, but what else I'll do is, like, I will keep that on the trailer. It'll be nice for pulling it on, but I'll make sure I know which chain it is, and I'll take a marker and I'll mark all the stretched ones so I know. That way you don't use that one. Okay, so here's what I did. I don't know if you can pick that up. So this piece is 5 inches. Just cut it off with the grinder, cleaned it up. I found the center. Now I did eyeball, but I took my cheapo caliper here and measured the width of that chain, and then just kind of eyeballed it. Now the other thing I did, find them, these are probably still hot, but I made these little pieces here. So I beveled the edges on them. I'm going to take my 90 magnet and I'm going to put it on there, and I'll kind of show you how I plan on doing that. You can eyeball this stuff. My thoughts are going to be a little bit different on how to go about it. What I'm going to do is take this piece and set it there like so, and then I'll get my magnet on there, which is kind of hard to do with two hands, or one hand rather. So we'll just take, like I said, I'll take my magnet, we'll set it up, and I'll slide it right onto there where I need it. I'll get that on there, make sure this is where I want it. Actually, that's not gonna work, never mind. Plan B. I guess I'm just gonna have to, I'm gonna figure something else out, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so here's what I figured out. I put my magnet on there, like so, and then I just use that as a spacer, and got it. Mainly because that edge right there is a nice, perfect 90, and it's nice and sharp. Versus like that, where it's a little hard to tell where you're at. And this doesn't have to be perfect, but I roughly took it like so. Now I'm gonna get that tacked up. I'll probably, I'll tack these two ends here, and then I'll take that off, and then I'll tack here and here, and then that'll hold it. I'll go ahead and finish weld that one up. The only problem is I don't think I'm gonna be able to weld on the inside of that one. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do there. I'll figure that out, I guess, whenever that time comes. Alright, so I found a clevis pin for a chain hook, you know, it would go in here. But I got that bad boy smoked in there. And then we'll take that chain. I'm going to take the hook off that before I put it on. And we're going to go ahead and put it on here. And then I'll have a nice 3/8 lifted chain on there with a good lift point. You can see where it's been, you know, it's had different, you know, lift setups on it before. That obviously didn't work. So that should do the job. I don't know what I'm gonna do here yet. I don't even know if I'm gonna mess with that today, but I definitely want to put those on. As you guys could see in the video, I could see right about to there, being that it's offset in the bucket. I think I explained it in the last video. I know I explained it while I was filming. I just don't remember if I put it out there, but it's this was made to widen roads. That's why it's offset in the bucket. I do plow with this if we get enough snow, but I can't see that corner whenever I'm plowing, and that is because it's offset. It doesn't really matter whenever I'm only using, you know, half the plow to widen the road, but whenever I'm plowing, it's kind of nice to have that corner. So I have a few junk ones that came off my plow, so I'll throw them on there. They're not junk, but they're I put new ones on mine. So I'm gonna put them on. Excuse me. I'm not really sure what else I'm gonna get into with this plow today. I gotta go pick up some garbage that somebody left on one of the roads. Waiting for it to get a little warmer out because it was 4 degrees this morning when I left my house. So maybe even colder, I don't really know. But anyway, I'm gonna let that cool down. I'm pinning that chain on. I'm gonna work on that, and I'll get back to you guys in a little while. Alright, so I had to break out the plasma cutter because you probably aren't picking that up, but this is nowhere near in line with that, which would explain why that side wore out faster. Because this is going to go level on the bucket, which is going to kick the plow on an angle like that. So what the plan of attack, I had to cut this little ear off here, no big deal, and then I put a relief cut in here, and you're not going to see it very well, but I put another one in here, and then I'll leave this top alone, and then I'll take that bar and bend it up. I haven't really figured out a way to bend that yet. But then what I'll do is I'll put that tab back on, and I'll scrounge around here. I probably use some of the stuff I used to make that, and I'll put a brace in there. Well, I'll plate it on both sides. I've got enough room over here to do the same. So I think that'll work. I just need to figure out how I'm gonna go about bending that. I'm not sure yet. I'll figure that out, and I'll kind of show you what I come up with when I figure it out. Alright, so I determined the best approach is to give it the old Tanya Harding. I don't know if you'll pick it up, but there's a gap there now. So I gotta, when you're doing stuff like this, you gotta go kind of slow with it. What I'm gonna use is this level, mainly as a straight edge because, well, that's better, but you can see the gap there, and you can, that's the level there. You can see that it's nice and straight. So, like I said, the end goal would be to have this parallel to this. So, we're gonna keep on giving it the old whooping. And I'll probably set it down on the ground here and get that, and I'll put the level on there between here and there, and then that'll tell me kind of what's what. So I'm gonna give it a few more swings. I'll set it down, get that kind of all squared up, and then I don't know, I guess I don't know, V that out maybe with the welder, and then maybe I'll stick a piece on the back side, weld through. I don't know, I'll figure something out, but I'm definitely gonna throw a plate on the outside to help strengthen that up. But I got enough metal laying around here to make something happen, so. All right, I got it. You can see how big that gap is now. And same on that side. But the important thing is it is pretty much level straight across there. Like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect, but it's pretty parallel because it's just about level there. So now I'm gonna get in there with the grinder wheel, clean that stuff up. I'll probably take this ram off for now, swing it out of my way, and then I can get in there real good and weld it. Weld that other piece back on. That's probably about all I really actually need to do to this plow. So I think that'll help a lot. So I gotta make sure I get that burned in real good and hot. So I'm gonna figure out what I need and go from there. Alright, so obviously I got that straightened out. Time's gonna tell if I did enough. I kinda ran out of welding gas, so kinda, well, I don't know, there's a possibility I'm gonna be welding this again. Ideally, I kinda wish I would've had my stick welder here. I could go get it, but I didn't feel like doing that. So I put a plate in here. There wasn't really any good way to go in there, so what I'll do, I have to get more welding gas, but I'll take a piece and I'll put it in here, weld to that, and weld it in here. I welded that. I put this guy back on. I V'd that out real good. Good penetration. Those welds don't look so great, so I'm not gonna show you. But I put this in there kind of to keep them together. And then I welded all that on there. So hopefully that has good enough bite to put up with the pressure. So now I pretty much just gotta put my ram back in here, clean up. I guess maybe I'll put this on and try it. I don't know. I put the new antennas on. That's really just about it. Anyway, well, if you like the project, like, comment, and subscribe.